Hi guys, welcome back to We Should Talk, a pop culture interview series from In the Know. I'm your host, Gibson Johns, and this week on the podcast we have Drew Sidora from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Real Housewives of Atlanta is back after a slightly prolonged break. I'm glad they took an extra long break to really figure out the cast. Last season wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the best, and Atlanta's usually one of the best housewives, and so it was really nice to see that they took the extra time to figure out this cast, and there was a pretty big shakeup, but I'm glad that Drew got this second season because I think she showed a lot of promise in her first go-around. So, we don't have Cynthia or Portia or LaToya, but Marlo has a peach now. Sheree is back. Sonia Richards-Ross, the legendary Olympian, is on the cast now. So there's a lot of new, there's a lot of old, and I think it makes it really exciting. And judging by that premiere, you guys, this season of Atlanta is going to be amazing. It seems like they're all ready to go. They're ready to do the job, and I just love the energy that we're getting. So it was really fun to talk to Drew about all of this, all of the switching dynamics within this group. It's hard. I couldn't really, judging by that amazing trailer, I couldn't really figure out what was happening, who was okay, who wasn't. And she had some cryptic answers in this interview, but it seems as though it's going to be really exciting in that regard. And lastly, we talked a lot about this in this interview, but Drew has kicked off both of her first two seasons with really intense issues that have arisen in her marriage. And, they're tough to watch sometimes. And I think it's tough to really get fully on board with Ralph as a viewer, judging by what we've seen. But I really do admire her being an open book and being really honest about these things and forthcoming about these issues. And I think it shows that she's, again, willing to do this and willing to be the housewife that we want to see, which is honest and open and willing to go there. So keep listening for my interview with Drew Sidora. Tune in to The Real Housewives of Atlanta Sundays at 8 p.m. on Bravo. And please rate, review, and subscribe to We Should Talk on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. All right, so we're here with Drew Sidora from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Drew, you're coming back for your second go-round. How are you?
I am doing so good. I'm so excited. I'm really feeling a lot of energy for this premiere. It's different than last season, obviously. I came in a very tough season. It was COVID, and I was new. So it was challenging for me to navigate, but this season I'm really getting to know the ladies more. I feel like I'm building solid relationships, and I'm excited because I show more of me. I'm already an open book, but I feel like you're going to get to know more of me, who I am and what I'm about.
Totally. Yeah. And I agree. You came in a really tough spot. And I think that I think you ended that season having held your own and proving your worth on the show. I really do think that. And, but I also think that it must feel refreshing to be able to start off in a kind of a relatively more normal atmosphere with
right?
It's like you probably feel like you're kind of getting a second chance to really kind of do it right,
Absolutely. I was like, okay, you know what? Last year I was hazed. Okay, let's just say what it was. Call me like Cinderella, Druella. That was me. Y'all got to see my wig, my COVID wigs, and you got to see all the struggles I think we all went through during COVID. Like none of us had it together. Like we were all rolled out of bed and was like looking at each other and was in the house, so dressing up was not a thing. So you got all of that. Of course, my Achilles boot, you met that. And it was just, I think people were in an emotionally challenging place,
Definitely.
We didn't know how to deal with that. So a lot of times I feel it was projection on me, but it's all good, new day, new season, new vibes. I got to make up with some ladies that I just never thought I would have a good relationship with. So that just made it, feel more real to me.
Definitely. And I mean this completely sincerely. I'm really glad that you made it through to a second season, because there was a lot of chatter around, the prolonged wait between seasons and the big cast shakeup and people leaving and then people coming back. And there was just a lot of talk around that. And I was really thrilled that you were given a second season, because I think that, again, you had proven your worth. But what was going through your mind? What was going through your mind during that time? Because it must have been kind of uncertain at a certain point.
I mean, for me, everyone understood kind of what was going on and the challenges of just COVID, At times, my husband and I, we had COVID and other castmates had COVID production, it was just, and everyone was very sensitive and Bravo wanted to make sure we were always super safe. So that played a part in the ability, I feel, for me to just free flow. We couldn't have a lot of people around because of COVID protocol. So it was just a different vibe. I had an Achilles rupture. So I was coming up with an injury. Then my husband lost his father, and so it just wasn't a good, I honestly was not in the best of places, but I think as the whole world was. We were dealing with a lot of mental health issues, physical health, and my dad, who's been a prominent pediatrician from Chicago, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So it just, as a family, just in my own life, I was dealing with a lot, trying to come out of postpartum depression and deal with being a mom and getting back to my career, getting back to me and the things I'm passionate about. So, this year you're going to see more of that. Like I'm focusing on my movies. I did an amazing movie with Lifetime that I'm so excited. So I just feel like this is the chapter of Drew, if I can say that.
Totally.
And so now it was almost like a tabula rasa moment for me to start fresh and just really get a chance to let the ladies see who I am, be vulnerable, in all areas of my life.
Mm-hmm. So what was your reaction when you found out what this cast was going to be? Because we lost Cynthia, we lost Cynthia and Portia. We got Sheree back. We're adding Sonia, who's a friend of yours. What was your reaction when you saw, okay, here are the 6 ladies for this season?
Okay, we all know I was sad about my girl P. Like, I'll be honest, I miss her, okay, being on the show. And Cynthia, I came in through Cynthia. So I was definitely heartbroken, but excited for what this brought. Marlo getting a peach, that's pretty legendary.
Major.
Sheree coming back. How many times is this now? I mean,
I think it's her second time coming back, I think. Right.
Is it? Or is it the third?
So. Or maybe it's the third. It's hard to keep track. It's been 14 seasons, so it's tough.
Right. So
she's a legend, though. She's a legend.
She's an OG. She's the genesis of it. So to get a chance to meet her, work with her, obviously, I was just like, this is exciting. Get into Sheree's world. And definitely Sonia. She and I got a chance to meet off camera, and she, came to my mom's birthday party. We hung out like the couples. We went on a dinner date, and I really was excited about Sonia because she's young, she's a mother, she's a wife, and I felt like, we have a lot of things in common, and I thought she would be perfect, in this group and in this circle. And honestly, it's been so much of a roller coaster at this point. It was like those were the feels in the beginning.
At the beginning, right? At the beginning, and I'm assuming a lot has changed since then.
It's girlfriends. Like, at the end of the day, you can't get along with everybody. I think it's a strong group of women, beautiful women, very opinionated. And so you're going to get all of that. Everyone is in a new season in their life, and we're just, ready to get outside. I think that was the theme of this year. It was like, we've been in the house. Like, this is the first time we're able to come out, and we're ready to show off everything, our fashions, all of that, our love life, everything. So it's going to be great.
I think what's exciting about this group is it's kind of a mix of, there's people that have a decade of history or over a decade of history. There's people that have a couple of years of history. There's people that are new to the group. I think it's a nice mix of all of that. And there's just so many different kind of dynamics that are going to be at play for people to follow. And it seems to be, it seems like a lot of the kind of changes are going to be surprising too. Is that accurate, that the kind of group dynamics are going to shift a lot?
Oh, most definitely. People that, like I said, in the beginning, there was the beginning, and then there was the middle. And then, so you're going to get a feel of all of that, as people go through life, and we have a difference of opinion, and things happen. And, when you get us together, you'll definitely see we're all very different, but there is a commonality of like sisterhood that I did appreciate this time around, that we all got to bond on a deeper level. Like, people really went very deep and were very vulnerable. And I appreciate that, because I feel like that's the way you really build friendships. So 100%. Even now, ladies, we've tried to keep some, level ground. Things went below the belt, but we always try to rise up a little bit.
Yeah, totally. Well, we saw you guys, you guys did that extra promo shoot, that self-funded thing that you guys, that gorgeous promo that you guys did. And I think you guys all coming together to do that is really, I think it speaks to what you're just saying, is that, like, regardless of, what you guys might say in the season, you guys do see eye to eye on certain things, which is really nice to see.
Absolutely. And wasn't it amazing?
Oh my gosh. I shared the video. It's like where you all sort of like look at the camera at the same time. Oh, it's so good.
It was really fun doing that too. I must say that was like a really, really good time. So, it shows, when you put out good stuff like that, you really feel the chemistry that we really do have. So
I agree. Yeah.
Well,
I'm excited to see all these dynamics changing. And, we watched in the premiere, you personally do not waste any time getting into a bunch of different topics. And I think one of those things that that is probably tough for you to talk about, but I appreciate how open you are about this. Is, we kick it off and we talk about Ralph and the text you saw from the assistant about the massage, and sort of we see Sonia and Candy kind of taking it to Ralph, which I loved for you because it shows that they're sort of in your corner and looking out for you. And it does sort of echo the Tampa conversation that happened at the beginning of your first season. And I'm curious, like, to what goes through your mind when you're kind of talking about that stuff and bringing it up on camera, because it must be hard. But again, like, I know that viewers appreciate the fact that you aren't shying away from those tough topics of your marriage.
Yeah. Because it is hard. It's like, we live in Atlanta. So by them being friends of mine, they really know what's going on in my life. And so you can't really hide away from it because you're not being real. You know what I mean? And I want to be vulnerable. It is hard because sometimes I'm like, okay, I feel like some things could just be in the bedroom talk, but I felt so safe with Sonia and Candy in that moment because they are wives, right? They're wives, they're mothers. So I felt like there was a level of relatability where I'm like, let me see if I'm crazy. Because sometimes, in marriage or in relationships, it's like, sometimes you're like, okay, I feel strongly about this. My mate and I are fighting about it, but is it me? Am I crazy? But to hear your friends echo and say, girl, no, you know what I mean? And we're going to have your back to maybe see how he feels and get his perspective. Because I'm like, with my friends, be honest with me. Like, tell me if I'm wrong. I need those type of friends in my corner.
The hard truth, exactly.
I'm that type of friend. Yeah, don't be a yes girl. Like, tell me honestly. And I felt like they were that for me in that moment. And as you see, that was something that really happened off season that I was dealing with, and we weren't all the way through it. And I was like, here we go. Like, marriage is full of ups and downs. We go through counseling and then things happen. And it was just the timing of when we started filming that we had to talk about it because it was going on and it wasn't going away. It was not going away.
Definitely. And it's tough because I feel like, we it's not like we haven't seen amazing moments with Ralph, especially I think him as a father and as a stepfather. Like there were some really sweet moments in that first season with you guys. But I think it's tough that we're starting out both seasons with like these more tumultuous, like tougher topics. And I guess for you, do you ever, like, do you think about like whether viewers can ever sort of like fully get on board with him, given that we've seen these two moments that are, again, like, it's sort of, we're in your corner, obviously, but it feels like there's some shady behavior that we're seeing on camera.
And that's the thing, it is 5 seconds. And so I hope people will see that he is layered. That's one thing about my husband. Yes, he is what you guys see, but he's so many other things. And I think, when you tune in and you watch, you'll see those layers kind of start to peel back. And that's what's so beautiful about our marriage is like, I'm not saying it's perfect. Obviously I love my husband. We love each other. But it's really to show people like, we're just like everyone else. Relationships, you don't always have figured out, but when you really love somebody, what are you willing to do? You're willing to fight for it. And that's how I feel about my husband. That's how I feel about my marriage. And hopefully people will see those other sides that you'll be like, okay, this is why she married him, or this is why they're together. Because at the end of the day, like, we're not perfect and we're both just trying to grow. But one thing we are is committed to the marriage. So
that's nice to hear. And so how are we going to see that part play out? Is that going to be resolved this season? Like, is the assistant not, is the
it resolved still, today?
I mean, is the assistant still around? Like, what can you tell me?
If it's what I believe it's, because if it's not the assistant, it could be somebody else. There's always that element in your relationship when you don't work and get to the root. And I feel like during this season, you'll be able to go on that journey to really see us try to work through some deeper issues. And that's what it's about, is being on the journey to like never give up, but really try to resolve things at the core of what the issue is, or else you're going to just have to deal with so much. And I think that's the thing with our relationship that we are willing to share, is that, it's life and life happens and different things happen. We're new to this city. We've gone through a lot. We're coming out of COVID. We're both super ambitious and busy. We've got 3 children. And what does that look like? We don't always have the answers, but as high as the highs are, there are those valleys and lows, and we just push through. We continue to push through. Even today, I'm not gonna sit here and say everything's perfect. It is literally a day-to-day decision that you make to stay together and work through your problems and just try to get to the other side, especially for our children. So
definitely. Yeah. I mean, and it seems like, again, like it seems like you have a good perspective on it. There's going to be naysayers, there's going to be people that have their opinions because you are putting it out there. But I like to hear that you're looking at the sort of the deeper thing and fixing that. I think that's a good perspective to have. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, Ralph was and I was so proud of him because he did share, he grew up in a single family home, and then dealing with his father not really being around, and then dealing with his death during the season. That was really challenging. And so I came from a 2-parent household. My mom was a pastor, my dad's a pediatrician. So we just came from 2 different backgrounds. So our environments were different. The type of love that we received was different. Our triggers and traumas different. So, I don't take that for granted. I think we need to be gentle with each other and have forgiveness. And that's what I extend every single day. Even with these ladies, I try to really extend just understanding and forgiveness.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like in the next episode, for the teaser for the next episode, there's something about your assistant that you share with Sheree, it sounds like. And I think Kenya's bringing up what is that about? And it's because there's some trouble in the assistant world and in your household. And that's it's making me nervous.
Be nervous. I was going through it what the holy shit? This is crazy. It's just, one of those things, you guys will definitely it'll unfold because it was very crazy. And I was just trying to do the right thing. You know what I mean? In Atlanta, a lot of the girls, we have assistants and we need assistants. We're very busy. We have different businesses, and sometimes we may work with the same assistant, and I was trying to do the right thing and communicate that to Sheree, and things just, they'll have to tune in and see, but obviously it wasn't all good.
So it was
a little misunderstanding.
How would you characterize your relationship with Sheree? Because again, she's this OG of the show coming in who viewers are all aware of how Sheree is and we all love her, but that there's probably some back and forth there. You're sharing assistants. So how would you characterize that relationship?
I mean, you have Sheree the legend, and then you have Sheree the human being, and are those the same? I don't know. You'll have to tune in and watch.
Okay.
Obviously I was like, oh my God, I look up to her. She's an OG. I literally watched her when I was, growing up. She's a mother. Hello. Come on. And so for me, I felt like I could look up to her and learn a lot from her. But sometimes you learn, you just, I look to my mother. I look to my mom. She is my inspiration. She is my example, and we'll keep it at that.
We're not looking to Sheree. Okay, I get it.
We're not gonna always look at Sheree, okay? Sheree, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. So let's talk about Drop It with Drew, because we get into it in this premiere episode, and you're explaining it to the women. There's some shady editing that happens, I have to say. Talk to me about what Drop It with Drew is and your reaction to that moment, please.
Oh yes, I'm excited about Drop It with Drew. Drop It with Drew is my literal baby. As you know, I had the Achilles ruptures. I was body shamed last season, and I got a chance to open up about my diagnosis, which was endomyosis, which is a form of endometriosis. So I was dealing with a lot of hormonal issues, weight issues as a woman, having 3 kids. And yes, I went and had a hysterectomy. Okay. I had a mommy makeover. I just had to put everything back in place because I really wanted to get back to a place of confidence, and that was the biggest thing. And I was did that for me. And in all of that, though, you have to maintain it. I wanted to be healthy. My father was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. He was a pediatrician. So health is really important. And Drop It with Drew is a program where you can come. It's like a one-stop shop where you can get knowledgeable on vitamins, supplements, on what your body needs so that people understand how to properly lose weight. It's not a get, skinny quick diet.
Right,
it's really a lifestyle. And so Drop It with Drew is that. And it's a community of us really motivating each other. Cause it's you can start working out, right? But how many times have you actually fallen off? It's being fully committed.
It's learning the lessons and sort of the principles of sticking to that.
Exactly. And so people that have joined our program have lost over 100 pounds. And me, myself, I'll tell you this, I got the numbers wrong. I got the numbers wrong. But I mean, the thing about it, I was just so excited because I was like, yeah, I know I lost 25 pounds, but it was definitely, my math wasn't mathing. I'll own it. But nonetheless, I did lose a significant amount of weight. As you saw, I share my pictures. So hello, Your girl was very.
You're not shying away from. You're not shying away from.
I wasn't shying away.
Not.
I just, like I said, I got my numbers all a little confused, but I was excited because it's a program that I really believe in, and I really wanted the girls to know like how authentic and how much integrity the program has. So I just really wanted them to get on board. And yeah, we have meal plans, meal preps. Everything, and really it's changed people's lives. And so it was one of those things that I became the face of, and then quickly saw the results, was like, oh no, we gotta really make this better and bigger. And so it was almost, we were trying to keep up with the demand. And so yeah, the girls got awesome. Me, you know, they're gonna get into it. You're gonna see them work out a little bit. It was a lot of fun sharing Drop It with Drew. And I know it's been on my Instagram, so people are familiar with it.
Totally.
But we're still, actually, we have a new sign up coming. So I'll be posting that on Instagram. So people that want to join, please sign up for the next round of Drop It with Drew.
That's good timing, Drew.
Great timing.
That's amazing. And I think it's cool that we get to see you build this. It's cool that we get to see you again. I think it's just like, what's great about you as a housewife is like, you are so open, but also like when somebody gives you some crap or reads you, you're like, you own it. And you're just like, all right, like you got me, or you, whatever, like you have an answer for a lot of things. And I really appreciate that about you, Drew.
I try, just being me. I don't know I'm from Chicago. Okay. Shout out to Chicago.
Chicago, baby.
That is the city that raised me. That's the only way I know how to be, is an open book. So
I love it. Well, it's really appreciated, I think, by viewers too. And the other big, I think, relationship thing for you going into this season is that you and Kenya obviously had a really tough last year. The reunion was a big back and forth between you guys. And we see in this premiere that you attempted to clear the air. I think you did clear the air. I think it's kind of unclear exactly where you stand. How's that going to go forth into this season with you and Kenya?
I just feel like God is good. I feel like, anything can happen in this group. And honestly, I was like, I don't even remember why we don't get along. I just know there was things that were said in the moment that we were hurt, and at the reunion, she did apologize to me. And I felt like, for her to own it and apologize, I feel like, why do I need to carry that gripe? Why do I need to still be angry? I'm doing great things in my life, and I see her, she did Dancing with the Stars. I was rooting her on. She was so amazing. Happy.
Yeah.
Her glow up is real. And so I really wanted to just try, I always give a good try, because I feel like, I'm not always perfect, and I feel like forgiveness is important. So if we can get to a middle ground and get to some understanding, I was willing to be the bigger person in that moment, just to try to see where her head was at, and I can say honestly, like we are building, and I feel good about where we were this season.
And I think part of being a housewife is also being able to move forward and find a way forward with people, because when you're at an impasse with anybody, it's not good for the cast. It's not good for you. It's not good for the show. So I think finding that way forward is really important.
It is. It's so important. And it made all the difference. Kenya was so fun this season. Like, I live for her, and we had some good moments, I will say.
Good. Do you think that LaToya not being around helped that as well? Because I feel like that was sort of because I mean they were like really good friends last year. She's not around, and you guys had your stuff. So did that help you guys move forward as well?
I mean, I wouldn't give her that much power. I would say this though. Know when Drew has a discernment about somebody, I am just keep this in mind. I'm just going to say it and leave it out there. But when I call somebody out, know that it's law. Like I have a great discernment for people. And I think at the end of the day, people saw who she really was. And it did. I think at the end of the day, when you get certain energies out, because I'm an energy person, it does open the door for like more peace, and more understanding. So I definitely feel good about that. Although LaToya and I saw each other recently, and she apologized to me. So
that's nice. How did that go down?
It was, we were at Candy's premiere party, and she was there, and it was just like, what time will do, right? Time allows people to heal and grow. And I feel like that happened. And I think she posted it on like her YouTube or something. It was pretty cool. Like, she was very vulnerable and honest about what she had gone through, and apologized, and we hugged and moved on. So
that's nice to hear. That's nice. Yeah. Why not? Yeah, again, move forward with people, right? Like if you can.
Forward. No negative energy in my orbit.
Okay. So you and Kenya seem to be able to go forward and move forward. It seems like her and Marlo don't stay on good terms pretty quickly. I mean, we already see this in the premiere. Is that going to be a central part of this season? Is them just not being able to do it?
You know what? I am confused because when I came into the group, they were not friends, right?
No.
And then all of a sudden they were like attached to the hip, right? And I was confused. I'm like, well, what happened? So I'm still kind of new to the group. I'm still trying to figure everything out with their dynamic, but it was a damn roller coaster. I was like, I don't know what to say. Y'all were cool. And then are y'all not cool? Like, I don't even know today. Are they cool? Are they not cool? I don't know. With them, it's just, you take it literally day to day. You just tread lightly and just try to stay out their way. That's what
it seems like they just can't seem to stay static in one status. It's like, it always has to be changing and moving. It just, that they can't help it.
Well, they're both Aquarius. Okay. And let me tell you this, my husband is an Aquarius. So I'm just saying, if you understand that dynamic,
I get it. Right.
It makes so much sense. When I realized that, I was like, this makes so much sense. And they all truly, like, they love Ralph, because they have given me advice too, even just, how Aquarius are. So I'm even like reading his zodiac sign more and more.
There we go. If that's the answer, that's the answer. There we go.
The universe is real, so like, that's what
I get it.
Aquarius.
So we also see in the trailer, Drew, that you say that somebody came on to be Sheree's lapdog, and then you throw a bone, and there's a bark that happens. I don't even know. Maybe I missed it, but I can't tell who that you're talking about. Who is that about?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, all in all, Sheree has a spirit lurking amongst us, and I just had to put it in place. That's really all it is. Like, for me, honestly, this season, I'm not letting anybody take me out my character. That is the biggest thing. I am here to let people really get to know me, but I express myself how I express myself. And yeah, a housewife, I'm an actress. Okay. And I express myself in a very artful way. Let's just say that.
I like that word.
So if you come for me, you're going to get everything that comes with that art.
So does Sheree come for you? That's what I'm getting.
You would definitely have to watch, because there's some twists and turns in that. It gets really, it was a lot to deal with, honestly. Like, there were times where I was just like, are we friends, Sheree? Are we not friends? Because it was hard to read her, but she did some things that were definitely below the belt. And, when you come for me, like I said, I'm the baby in the group, but I am very strong. I stand my ground. I don't let anyone disrespect me. And I just felt like, even with Sheree, there were moments where I had to let her know, like, you have to respect me, and you're not going to come for me or my family.
Mm-hmm. So you also brought Sonia on. I mean, like, she's sort of introduced as a friend of yours, and she's obviously a full-time cast member. But in the premiere, Kenya describes her as a new bone collector in training. Is that is that an accurate depiction of what Sonia's role might be this season?
I mean, I think Kenya hit it on the nail. Like, that's the vibes I was getting. I was like, weren't we all just having questions, and then you just suddenly came over and put it? What kind of behavior is that, Sanya? Which one?
Sanya.
Who is this person? Yeah, I was always trying to get to know both, like, which one is she? Because her bringing that little bit of tea, and she was with Sheree, so I was like, well, there you have it. So you'll get a lot of that. But I think as people watch, people will have to gather what they think of Sonia. But my feelings of her, I brought her into the group, and she wasn't the girl that I thought she was. Let's say that.
Okay, that's interesting. But I will say, I do appreciate that as a new addition to this group. Like, she didn't waste any time getting into it, and I think she's showing really promising kind of attributes of being in this show environment. It seems like she's not intimidated by what you have to do to be a good housewife, it seems.
Keep watching.
All right. Okay. So, what else can you tell me about because I'm the trailer is amazing, but it seems like I really can't guess what's going on with this group and where things are twisting. Is there any other sort of big thing that you kind of tease for me in terms of a relationship that kind of might go in an unexpected direction?
I mean, I feel like Marlo and I really connected, which was unexpected. We connected over edges.
There we go.
That was really fun, because a lot of people don't know I had hair, implant surgery. So I'm really proud of my edges. These are my edges. Take a look.
Looking amazing.
Okay, so people were talking about my wig, but really, I mean, it was COVID, but I have really good hair. I'm proud of my hair. Always trying to grow it, keep it healthy. But Marlo came to me and she really wanted to, I don't know, grow her edges. So she went to my doctor and we bonded over edges. Like, who knew the girls could bond
That's
over edges?
amazing, though. That's amazing.
Right. The exciting thing is to see Marlo's journey of her edge growth. So, I mean, that was really, really fun. We had
so you guys are on good terms right now, you and Marlo?
Yeah, Marlo and I, like,
that's great.
Marlo's super cool. Like Marlo, she's a real one. And I'm just happy that she has a peach. And I got to learn so much more about her. I got to go to her house and, you know, see different sides of her. She's this incredible momty and, or munty, right? She calls him munty.
Yeah.
I think it was like, we really started to bond. And even now, like we still text and talk. So it's really dope.
Yeah. I was so, I mean, I've been part of the give Marlo a peach brigade for years now. And like, because I just think that she had proven her worth years ago, you know, and she had proven that she could hang and she was vital to this group. And so it was really nice to see all of you guys really support that she got the peach and support that promotion and support that she had that kind of elevated presence in the group, because I think it was well deserved.
Absolutely. I mean, talk about dedication, talking about, she knows the ins and outs of this group like nobody else, right? So to be able to support her and really see how she makes her money and all the different things of Marlo, I think, you know, it's really
awesome.
fun.
Yeah. So lastly, I think we're running out of time, but the last question I have for you is just like, what did you learn from your first go round from that first season? I know that your first season was it was a very unique set of circumstances around that first season for you, but what did you learn in that first experience that you either changed or just really kind of kept with you in this next go round? Because I mean, like, I feel like, again, like you were able to own so much of your life and kind of take criticism from people and just let it roll off your back. But what did you keep with you from that first experience into your second season?
Oh, most definitely. Just being me, you know, that's the only way I know how to be, not changing for anyone, being my authentic self and not being afraid to express my opinion, stand up for myself. You know, I'm never going to let anyone disrespect me, my family name, or any of that. And that's something I'm very, very strong about. And I don't play with, and people will learn that. I don't think, you know, anyone can criticize that. I think we all have to set certain boundaries. And so this season, I'm definitely setting those boundaries and continue to let people know who I am, but also, you know, still being open to growth. I think this group helped me to see things about myself this season that I was really happy about, things that my husband said. So I was like, okay, if my girls are saying it, there's truth. So I did keep that door open for growth and, you know, just trying to be a better person, better version of myself, but having fun at the same time, but I don't take no shit. That's it.
That's the best way to be. I love that. I love that outlet.
Yes. Thank you. So that's really it. I mean, I think I had a lot more fun this season. Like I laughed so much. Good. We had a ball as a group, you know, that's what I could say was a lot different. Last season, I was like on defense. The moment I came, I was like, I'm defending my wig, you know, and this season I was able just to have fun and really bond with everyone. So I'm most excited about that.
That's great. Well, I'm so excited about the season, Drew. It's a wonderful group that you guys have. I mean, it's one of the best casts out there. And I'm just I'm so happy that you guys took a little bit more time to make this an amazing season. And I'm excited to see it because it sounds like it's unpredictable and one of the best in years.
Kudos to Bravo. You know, they really did take time, and I'm excited. So get ready. It's going to be.
I'm ready. Fantastic. Awesome. Well, Drew, thanks so much for taking the time, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to We Should Talk. I hope you enjoyed the interview. You can find out more about In the Know at intheknow.com. You can follow me, Gibson Johns, at Gibsonoma on Twitter and Instagram. And you can listen to all of our interviews, past and future, by searching We Should Talk wherever you get your podcasts. Hope to see you next time.